I think what people do is they want to be heard. This is a function of, I want people to know what I'm going through. I want the judge and the court reporter and the clerk and everybody in the audience to know what a jerk he is. Truly.
Or
Or
she.
she.
Yeah, whichever.
Yeah, I should have said she since I'm
since you're the guy.
yeah. And it comes under this fallacy that the judge, that what's really at issue in your child custody case is who's the better parent.
Right. And this is a very common misconception.
And who's the biggest jerk.
Right.
And that can cause you to write a declaration that's ineffective.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good.
Right.
It feels great to point out all their flaws.
Right.
But it doesn't get you where you want to go ultimately,
right.
which is you want to win your case, right?
It's like, do you want to feel good in the moment, or do you want to win your case in the long run?
Right, like that. And what you have to do anytime you're writing for the court, and I've taken so many CLEs on this, continuing education courses, and in law school, and they always emphasize this, is know your audience.
Yeah.
Know your audience. The idea is you want to know, put yourself in that judge's position when they have 8, 10, 12 hearings on a morning calendar.
Right.
And every one of those people is trying to convince you that the other person is a lousy parent.
Right.
And the thing is, what is your objective? I mean, ideally, I would say as a judge, the number one thing you want is for them to not be in your courtroom. They don't want to see them again. You want to create an order that's going to kind of stand the test of time, that's going to last. And so what you're trying to do is, number one, you want these parties to get along. You want them to cooperate.
Right.
And nobody does.
I know.
But the judges just, oh, please, somebody just get along. Yeah. For the sake of your kids. You both love your kids, get along. They also want you to promote, and this is where everybody gets it backwards, but they want you to promote the other parent to the children. They want to see that you're showing Junior that mom is a good person who is to be respected.
Right.
Or dad is a good person to be respected.
Right.
Not a jerk. And I would say time after time, you see these declarations, all they say is, I don't respect this person, I hate this person, and I would do anything I could to wrest these poor children out of the grasp of that person.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say that directly. That's not what the declarations directly say.
No, it's indirect.
But by the way that they've written their declaration, that's the message that they're conveying to the judge. Right. Which is the exact opposite message of what creates a winning situation.
Right.
The thing that happens though at this stage is that, people sort of want to, like Thomas said, put all these things out there that are sort of not really true concerns about the child's safety and welfare.
Right.
Which is what the court wants to know, because absent issues of safety and welfare, they want the child as much as possible to have equal access to both parents.
Right.
So their real question is there something that's really concerned for their safety and welfare? And, I go through this a lot with my clients. They, a lot of them are dealing with, especially my women's coaching group, it's focused around, narcissistic behaviors and things. And so a lot of people are dealing with that, and they have gone through a lot of verbal and emotional abuse. And I always say the system is set up pretty well. If you have a physical abuse situation, the court system is really equipped to handle that. I think the verbal and emotional abuse is a little bit more difficult, and it's a grayer area. So a lot of times the things that are happening that we feel like are really bad for the children are verbal and emotional abuse type things. And the court's not really, for the court, that doesn't override the need for the parent.
Right.
The need for the child to have a relationship with that parent.
Yeah, the court is very concerned about the child having a relationship with both parents.
Right.
So to the extent that you come across as not wanting that or being opposed to that other parent, it's normal to want to do that, but it gives the court the impression that you don't support their relationship.
It's knowing what things to bring up and how to present them.
Right.
It's not about, like Thomas said, like pulling your punches and not saying anything about things you're truly concerned about. It's about not nitpicking about things that you don't get to control just by the sheer fact of that you're not with the other parent anymore.
Yeah, we're not
There's
sweating
just
the small
certain
stuff.
things that you have to relinquish that you don't get control of anymore.
Yeah,
Like the child's bedtime in the other world. You don't get control over that. It's just about figuring out what are the correct things that the court is going to have concern about and what things do they not. Because if everything you're putting forward is just all these little nitpicky concerns and you don't have anything really that's really safety or, welfare related, then you're losing credibility. You're hurting yourself.
Right.
And that's really what we see happen to a lot of people.
Does this person speak in a supportive way about the other parent?
Right.
When there's nobody but the kids listening.
Right.
And so if you vomit this laundry list of the other person's fault, eventually the court's going to start thinking, what is this person saying when I'm not there?
Right.
When I'm not there to adjudicate, or if you have the nasty text messages, what is this person saying to the kids?
Right.
So they're concerned about that. And finally, the court says, Rodney King, can't we just get along?
Right.
Really? Can't we get along? They want you to get along. Why? Because they've read hundreds of articles. I almost said thousands. I'm exaggerating. But they've read many articles about the effect of parental conflict on children.
Right. Right. Articles and studies and continuing education and all of the literature says the number one most damaging thing for children post-divorce is conflict.
Right. So
is conflict between the parents.
So what are you doing? This is a good thing to put in your declaration. What are you doing to make things better?
Right. Right. And that's one of the things that I always have clients talk about when they go to, if they, like you said, in California, we have family court services as the child custody arm here. Not all states, call it that or have that specific thing. Some states, the judge just decides. But when I have clients going in, like if it's somebody that I've been working with that I'm coaching, then I'll have them say, I'm working with a co-parenting coach.
Yeah.
Then that looks very favorable.
Right.
To the court of like, oh, you're actually taking some kind of action to try to stop this conflict. Right. You're actually taking some proactive step instead of just standing back and blaming the other person for all the conflict.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's
so you
just
got
huge.
it? Yeah.
Take responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really the moral of the story. So, okay. So we hope that this has been helpful as always to kind of give you some perspective on, how the court views this. If you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit like on this video and subscribe to our channel. So
don't hit it too hard though, you'll break your device.
So you'll get to see more videos related to these topics as they come out. If you are listening to the full episode of the podcast, please don't forget to, again, like and subscribe so that you get notifications as new episodes are released.
I get those
each week. You do?
Yeah, I get the
That's great. And you get to listen to us. How fun.
That's how I know the podcast has gone out.
All right. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.